I used AI to market myself better on dating apps, and the results were 800 likes sent to me on Hinge in the last 8 weeks. So if we just head over to the proof, these are just some screen recordings of my profile, and obviously the likes coming in, the notifications. When you get put, basically when you get so many likes, you get put on the standout, so you get sent roses. So many likes, so many options. It's too many to deal with, if I'm honest. It's too many. And then I always get asked, what's the quality like? You get that many likes and stuff like that. What's the quality like? It's really good. Blondes, hot women, all coming to me, making the first move. And then those are just some numbers I get on the daily then. Now I want to show you what my profile looked like before using my AI system. So this is what my photos looked like before. This profile used to get me around 1 to 3, maybe 4 likes a week, which is really bad. Bear in mind now I'm 6'2", I'm in decent shape, I'm not bad looking. Just marketing myself. To be honest, like if you're looking at this, you're probably thinking, no, it's not a bad profile. Compared to yours and so to speak, like it's not a bad profile, which I thought that as well. You got a lead shot there showing my face clearly. I'm at a festival. I'm showing kind of my physique there without being like too direct. I'm in a suit, picture there with my family, another group photo, and then a cut off one there. Like I look good in that one, but it's a cut off one from a wedding. And, it's not the best. Like, but so yeah, like it just highlights that having an okay profile in this dating market right now just doesn't fucking cut it anymore. So, if you're watching this video and you're sat there with, a bunch of selfies and low effort photos and stuff like that, and you're wondering why you're getting no results, that's why, because women's standards are through the fucking roof these days, and you just can't have an okay profile anymore. It needs to be so good to stand out from all the crap, basically. So yeah, like I said, this was getting me like 1 to 3 likes every week. I was waiting for likes to come in, it was jarring. I was waiting for them to come in. And then when I did get one, it was like, oh shit, now I got to pull out some like really good texting game to even get her on a date, just like the leverage just wasn't there. And it was like really, really frustrating. So then what I did, I just thought, right, like, how do we get this better? So I basically figured out an AI system to create images that look like you, don't change anything about you, same face, same head, same body. So, we're congruent on how we look in real life, because like that's the most important thing. And these essentially what I created. So I've got a mixture of, sunset, different poses, different outfits and stuff like that. That's not in the realm of like, holy shit, this guy's put himself on yachts and stuff. Like, that's not my lifestyle. I'm not going to portray myself that way. Every guy can live this life by you. It's nothing crazy. Okay, a few restaurant shots, maybe a sunset on a balcony, whatever, a tuxedo shot. Like, fuck me, everyone's gone to a wedding and stuff. You know what I mean? It's not a crazy profile in terms of like I said, I'm not, leaning against Ferraris and I'm on yachts and stuff like that. I'm not displaying that lifestyle. I'm just marketing myself better in terms of like, okay, what am I wearing? What am I posing like? And what are my backgrounds like? That's basically what works on online dating. And yeah, I'm obviously, I'm groomed and all this kind of stuff. I'm not 40 stone in weight and stuff. Like, obviously that helps, but I just want to make it clear that it's all about how you market yourself with online dating. Because I know a lot of you guys are watching this. You're probably thinking, I'm not a bad looking guy. Why the fuck am I getting likes? Yeah, it's because you look like a goof on your profile. You look like a nice guy or a goof or a dork or something like that. You just don't like. I don't know how many guys come to me and they show me their profiles. And, say the guy's like 36, 37, he's a decent looking guy and whatever. And he's got like goofy ass smiles on his profile with selfies and stuff. It's not what women want to look at. And you don't look masculine as well. You don't look your age. You look like a clown. You look goofy. And that's why your profiles don't perform. So I just want to display that in this video. I'm not smiling in any of these photos. And I've had 800 likes sent to me in the last 8 weeks. You know what I mean? So like that's something you just want to like make a note of. you know, I look masculine, I look clean, I look good. And like I said, the poses and the aesthetic locations and stuff like that just bring it all together. So yeah, like I said, that's what my system essentially produces, quality images. So with that being said, I just want to show you basically the before and after side-by-side comparison, and just like the difference in having good backdrops and different locations and stuff like that, how it works. And like, you know, cut off images with people like by the side of you and stuff, like it just doesn't work. And now what I do with my profile and like my clients and stuff, you're marketing yourself. So like, just don't have group photos. And especially if you're not the best looking guy, you know what I mean? Like having a group of photos with your guys and stuff, and like you're not the best looking, like holy shit, do not put that on your profile. You know, it's all about marketing yourself. So just put yourself on there. Don't listen to people about saying, oh, you need to show your social and stuff like that. You need to have friends so you don't look like a loner. It's all bullshit. Like, you know what I mean? It's all bullshit. When you look like the guy on your profile, they assume you have friends. It's just how it works. So yeah, that's the side by side. And here's just some more results of what happens when you craft a top quality profile for yourself. You know, you got girls opening saying I love you and stuff like that, skipping the talking stage and just going straight for the number or the social. Your gorge emojis, getting sent roses because you're on the standouts and stuff where all the hot girls normally are and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's just a different dynamic. Like, and you know, on my videos that I do and stuff, like my short form content, I get a lot of guys hating on like, oh, it's because you're good looking and this and that. It's like, yeah, it helps. Obviously, appearance matters. But I could be 6'2" and 42 stone. You know what I mean? Like I could be that guy, but I'm not. You know, I'm well groomed. I get weekly haircuts. I'm in shape. There's a fucking standard when it comes to this. You know, I take pride in how I look. So if you're a guy who's like hating on like, oh, only the chads get results and stuff, it's bollocks, because I work with guys who are not chads and they get results. You know, I'm getting guys dates and stuff who are average looking. So you need to get that limiting belief out your mind and basically come from a perspective of like, I need to fucking work on myself, you know, get groomed, get in shape, drop the weight off your face so you start getting the pronounced cheekbones and the jawline and stuff like that, you know. That's how it all works. Appearance counts, you know. So take that into account. Stop moaning that you don't think you're good looking and shit like that, because it's all a load of crap. Yes, there's going to be some guys better looking than others and they're going to get better results, and they don't need to sort of, you know, talk to girls with the most effort and stuff like that. Of course, there's levels to this shit, you know, but that doesn't mean that the average guy has to fucking suffer because he's not a chad. It's a load of waffle. So just remove that from your brain entirely. So what I did then is I used my process and I basically compared it with other AI softwares. So I used the same image here. So obviously this is my process and the image that it produced. And then I chucked the same image reference in ChatGPT and Gemini and just look at the difference, because I know a lot of guys, you know, AI on dating apps and that has been around for ages, but it's never been up to the standard that it is now. And I get a lot of people in my DM saying, oh, I've used AI before, it doesn't work and all this crap. It's like, yeah, because you've been using like softwares and apps and stuff that basically you upload existing images of what you want AI'd. This is totally different. This takes images of yourself and crafts them from scratch. That's why it's totally different. And that's why you get results like this. Like, look how real that looks. Bear in mind now, I've had 811 girls sent to me in the last 8 weeks. Not one of them has said these photos look AI, because we're also verified on the apps as well, because it is actually us. We're not fake phonies over here. We're verified. It looks like us. We're congruent with how, and none of them have said AI. And it's the same with my clients as well. If you go on my story highlights on my Instagram, I've literally got clients saying that they've been on dates and stuff, and the girls are thanking them that they actually look like their photos. That's how good these are. If you're putting stuff like this on your dating app on your dating profile, fucking right, you're gonna get it off. This is awful. This is absolutely trash, you know. because it doesn't look realistic. It looks fake. It doesn't even look like me. Look how it's morphed my hair and stuff. It's trash, you know. But my process, absolutely different game. So now I just want to show some results from some of the clients that I've taken through this process. So we have Matt. Matt does so good. Like, he does unbelievable on dating apps. He's 35. He has a bit of money behind him, so we could display a certain lifestyle. So these are the images that we got him. Just killer photos. Like, look how good that is. You know, casual streetwear. A walk down a country lane. Just any shot you want, any location, any pose. It can do that for you. And then we have TJ, he's never been on dating apps before, TJ. And basically I said, oh, you know, what photos do you have? And he had a bunch of like selfies like this and stuff. And, you know, low quality, really bad quality photos. He had a couple of gym professional shoots, which we decided to keep in because he's an absolute monster and we wanted to display that, so that's not a problem. But like I said, look at these before photos, like just weren't going to get any luck, nothing at all. So then we decided to craft him, you know, photos that work, you know, the sunset with a cool candid pose, showing his face clearly so they know what he looks like in a dimmed lit restaurant. Got the tuxedo on, and then, you know, a sort of beach walking vibe then as well. Next we have Diego, this guy was getting like a few dates every couple of months, and he came to me and he said, like, I don't want a girlfriend, I don't want a wife just yet. He's 31, he just wants options. I was like, bro, like, you know, you're a good looking guy, you're 6'1", you should do very well. And he had 55 likes overnight from creating his profile. Crazy. But like I said, you know, look at the difference in the quality. Restaurant shot in a street in London or something like that with the shades on. Again, the sunset shot. Like, just use what works. Girls love looking at stuff like this, you know, so just pull out on your profile. But like, look at his before photos. They're blurry, you know, you can't really see him, but the background's dark. That's why it just doesn't work. On a rooftop here with a pool in the background, and then again the tuck shot. And next we have Preston. His before photos basically displayed himself as like kind of a nice guy. And again, you know, Preston's like 6 foot or something like that, and he just displayed himself really soft and nice and stuff, like Mr. Nice Guy. And like, that's what we don't want to do, especially at the age of, you know, mid-30s and stuff like that. You know, sort of going for like the James Bond look, you know, on a big brown door. You know, like the cheesy, overly smiley. You don't want to be doing this on your dating photos. He loves hiking, so we got him like an Arizona shot with the sunset. Just look at the scenery, you know, like that's what they can do. I know I had one guy come to me, Rick, who just wanted photos, and he was well traveled and he loved to go skiing. So we got him a really, really sick ski shot. So it's not just restaurants and sunsets and all that stuff. You can do skiing, you can do anything. It's really, really cool. Any like wicked activities that you got, you can display that on your profile. And then finishing them with the tux one. And then we just got Ollie there as well with the same thing. So like that's basically what they look like. That's the quality. And like I said, none of these girls have said these look like AI, because you're verified on top of having really quality images, you know? So if any of you are watching this video and you're interested in coaching, how to get dates, getting your profile absolutely dialed in, getting your messaging dialed into the best it can be to get dates and stuff like that, get women, then head to my Instagram and DM me the word system and we can get started. If you're just interested in just getting your photos done, so upgrading your dating profile and stuff like that, you can also message me, and you know, I offer 2 packages where I can do it for you at a premium price, or I have put together the exact steps that I took to get my photos and my clients into like a little crash course. So if you'd rather do that at a fraction of the cost, then you can click the link in the description, have a look at the info and stuff like that, and do it that way. So those are your options. See you in the next video.